Hey everyone, this is Charlie Rose with Mark Knutson again, just building landscape. Hey, today we're going to talk about a subject that I think everybody knows about. We're going to talk about podcasts. Even Mark and I have a podcast we call Unreasonable Accommodations, but we're not here to talk about that. We just want you to listen to it. In the meantime, we got some great guests here to talk to. Mark, what do we got going on here?
Yes, on one of our earlier shows, we had Cow Tipping Press on, and they held a class for podcasters. And
When are you taking it?
what's that?
When are you taking it?
Yeah, I know we should have taken it before we did our podcast. Exactly. But we've got Hannah Stotts from Cow Tipping. I'll introduce her, and she will introduce us to the podcasters. Welcome to the show, Hannah.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with some of the students from the class that I've had the pleasure to teach for about 12 weeks this summer.
Okay, 12 weeks.
Yeah, so in the final few weeks, we focused on this podcast project as part of our journalism unit. And all of the students here worked on a podcast where they interviewed each other and got a chance to answer some interview questions as well from other students.
Okay.
So, yeah, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Luan, and I do cow tipping with my friends, and I write brother and sister stories and put them into a storybook and write about brother and sisters because I've been reading about brother and sister storybooks, and I write brother and sister stories at the cow tipping class, and I made them into a story.
What's the name of your podcast?
The name of my podcast is a brother and sister story.
Oh, brother and sister. Okay, brother and sister.
Yeah, sorry, Mark
Yeah.
doesn't get things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got really interested in the brothers and sisters and got thinking about that. Thank you. Let's go to our next podcast.
So what do we have next?
Keith.
Hey, Keith.
For me, my stories were, it was kind of a mixed match for mine. I would say what I was feeling right on the spot, and it did kind of, it was scary for me at first, let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And
So you have a key subject then when you talk?
Or a title for your podcast.
Keith and Laurent actually
Did work
they
together.
worked together and interviewed each other,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So they
Oh.
were working on the same
Nice.
one, right?
yeah,
We were working on the same one.
yeah.
Oh, that's great because
Very good.
that's what Charlie and we like to have a co-host to help with it because it just makes it a little easier and not as stressful.
Sometimes that makes it a little weird. You're just talking to yourself.
Right. Yeah. Okay, our next podcaster,
What do we have next here?
Megan?
Megan.
Yes.
And what's the name of your podcast?
Can't remember.
Or do you have a name?
Or what do you talk about on your podcast?
I like to write.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes.
So it's about writing.
Yes.
What kind of things do you like to write about? Anything in particular?
I like the like stories, like mysteries and all that stuff, and TV shows and
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Some of my favorite subjects. And what's our last young lady here?
Well, I'm trying to tell you, my stories, some of my stories was about my mother. She had passed away in January,
Okay.
and I was writing stories about her a lot, and a lot of stories about her and my family, and just celebrating her life, and just being amazed about so many things I've been with so many people, with so many programs. It's just amazing to know that people with disabilities can follow passions and dreams too.
And what's your name again? I'm sorry.
I'm Shantae Martin.
Okay. Very good.
I guess one at a time. It doesn't matter who wants to start first. But Are there other classes or other things that you have, besides the podcast, are there other things you have done with cow tipping press? Or is it mainly doing the podcasts and that?
It's me.
Well, it's mainly like podcasting.
Okay.
Like we podcast, like we interview each other so much.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and Hannah, what are the things that you cover in the classes with these folks to kind of get them ready to do podcasts?
Yeah, so actually, like I mentioned, it was a 12-week class, so we did a lot of different genres in that time, right? If you guys remember,
Yes.
we went all the
Yeah.
way from focusing on fiction and nonfiction early in the
Yes, we
semester
did.
to poetry.
And then to mystery, of course.
We did some mystery too and drama, and then
And we do stories like we do brother and sister stories, even funny stories.
yes, there was definitely some humor injected throughout.
So do you have a funny
the
story you
class.
can share with us?
Well, I heard here's the funny story that I wrote about. I wrote about Madison was a farm girl who worked on a farm, and she saw a dancing chicken who was dancing on top of a snowy mountain, and then Madison was on the farm working on something, and suddenly when Madison was on the farm, she was working for growing fruits and vegetables. But when she saw something missing, the chicken was gone, and the chicken was on top of that snowy mountain. And Madison called the chicken on the farm, and Madison was like, "Chicken, what are you doing on top of that snowy mountain? You go back on that farm, you silly old chicken."
Yes.
That's great.
So instead
And then the chicken went back on the farm, and Madison was like, "Don't go back on that snowy mountain, you silly chicken."
instead of why did the chicken cross the road, why did the chicken go on the mountain, right?
So in your podcast, Megan, I'm gonna jump over to you real quick. What's one of your favorite things to write up? I know you want to write mysteries and TV. Is there a particular TV show that you say, "Hey, I want to talk about this one"?
I talk about like Grey's Anatomy and all that stuff,
Okay.
and
Do you like the medical drama kind of thing?
yes,
Okay.
Are there other types of TV shows you like?
I get a whole bunch of them.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yes, yes,
So it doesn't matter if it's a drama or comedy or.
yes, comedy and dramas and yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Grey's Anatomy is her favorite.
Ah,
Most of the time, she would always talk about Grey's Anatomy and what she
Yes.
watches. And she loves Grey's Anatomy.
you know, I'm ashamed to say it's been on 19 years. I've never seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. I never see
19
something like
years,
that.
wow. That's a long time.
Yes.
So now, you like your family stories. What kind of do you do? Other thing besides family, or is it basically focused on your family then?
Well, on my family story, this is about my journey growing up
Okay.
in about around the days community, and a lot of times I just talk about Rondo Days because it's important and it's a big organization.
Oh, right,
It has
right.
a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I grew up in Rondo Days. I grew up in Rondo when I was about 18 months old. I was adopted. I lived in a foster home with this woman named Marcella Martin, and basically, I write about her a lot because it feels good to write about family and stuff.
So you're writing about family and your community and
Yes.
growing up in Rondo and
Yes.
because that's actually a very well-known and kind of important section of St. Paul,
Yes.
and it's good you can relay those stories.
Yes.
Yeah, because with the Rondo history, that
Yes.
neighborhood was split more or less
By the
Yes, it
freeway.
was.
by the freeway, by 94. When 94 was built, that neighborhood got split then. And I think they're looking at trying to
Bring it back together.
by putting something over 94 and making it a neighborhood once again. So that should be interesting. That would definitely would be interesting in that.
So, and back to you, Hannah, for just a sec. And, you know, you talked about the genres and how people kind of pick out what they wanted to talk about as their subject. But when you're creating or teaching them about podcasts, are there, you know, fundamentals that are involved? What are the fundamentals that you want to teach everybody when they're learning about doing a podcast?
Yeah, I think we focused mainly on how to prepare for an interview, both as the person asking the questions and then also filling the role of the person answering the questions, right? If you guys can
Right.
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
how we split up into groups
We did.
of students, and then
Yes.
I gave them the theme of creative writing and self-advocacy because they were taking this class through something called the Self-Advocacy Academy. So they'd, I think, all just come fresh from a different course on self-advocacy into
Okay.
this creative writing course. And so we wanted to
Oh,
kind of
and-
blend
and-
those two topics and work on coming up with questions that would be interesting to ask their classmates during the podcast.
Very nice. And, you know, this day and age, self-advocacy is becoming a really big thing. And it's great because then we're teaching ourselves and others around us to say, I got to stand up for me. I have this disability or that disability, and you guys, I need to be treated in a way that helps me, you know, do what I need to do. And that's important, right?
Yes, exactly. You know, I'm an advocate myself, so basically, it doesn't matter who you are because you have a passion, you just follow your dreams and believe in yourself because no matter who you are or what you do in your life, just follow your passions and your dreams because they can come true no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you follow your dreams can come true, and your dreams can take you on a journey.
Yes, they will.
Yes.
And the journey itself can definitely be most interesting, correct?
Yes,
But as long as the journey keeps going, that's what you got to keep doing, right?
right.
Yeah, the journey.
Yeah, sometimes it isn't the destination, it is the journey.
It is.
That
Yeah,
makes
you're
life more
right.
interesting.
You're right.
Now-
Your dreams will never fail if you follow your dreams. They will take you on a journey, but not to a destination.
Now, you two guys say you do a podcast together, correct?
Yes.
About brothers and sisters.
Yeah, brothers and sisters in that. Do you have anything else that other things you would like to say that you have found out while doing the podcast, or other stories that maybe you haven't talked about yet, but that you would like to in the future talk about on your podcast?
I would like to talk about some science fiction and some college skills, and I'd like to talk about some college skills and some science investigations, and join some sports teams and join dance teams in our future.
So you want to branch out what you talk about and make it more wide-reaching.
I want to talk about some different kinds of futures that I like to do, and I can talk about some other kinds of stuff like science and all kinds of other school subjects, and make my story go wide, even wider, and make my story go easier so I can tell my friends about the stories that I've made.
Cool.
How about you? Any thoughts of what other stories you would like to see from your brothers and sisters?
I would say, like, try to be with your brothers and sisters, because if they're not there, then you wouldn't be here today.
Okay.
And,
Right.
So the importance of family.
Yep.
Okay.
If you don't have your family there, what are you doing?
Right.
Yes.
And then do you have any hobbies that you enjoy that you might want to talk about later when you get doing your podcast? Are there hobbies that are of interest?
Let's see, bowling. I would like everybody it would benefit the people that are out there in the community right now, that are like me, to never give up. If you give up, that's you failing.
Yeah, that's good advice. And Megan, you talk, you talk about Grey's Anatomy and such. Is there other subjects that you think you might want to get into as you try to do more podcasts?
Yes, I do.
And what kind of subjects?
Like surgeries, and you need you need help for like all the doctors and nurses.
Okay.
Needs people to fix them and put them okay and all that stuff.
And I think everybody here has had plenty of experience with doctors.
Yep.
And so,
Yep.
and a lot of them have been really good to us. So, yeah, it's good to talk about them. And
Now, being that you like to do TV shows, correct, Megan?
Yes.
Now, are you gonna rewatch this show and critique us then? That's fine.
Well, yes.
Oh, that sounded good. That's pretty good.
I,
Well, that sounds pretty good to me.
we will take bad
That sounds
reviews,
pretty
but
good.
but only to a
Pretty
certain
good.
extent.
Yep.
They're coming back, and I'd like to watch it on Thursdays.
Oh, great, Grey's,
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because they, like 18 years, which
Yes.
amazes me because I think when they started, and you might be able to correct me on this, I have a feeling.
Yes.
Back then when Grey's Anatomy, I don't know if the show ER was going at that.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
was.
Yes.
Because that's the
yes.
show.
So
I
that-
watched
Yes,
the
it
ER.
was ER, yeah.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, Grey's Anatomy is still going on and all that.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to this episode of TV Guide Live.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and Hannah, you just how recently did the class? Are you still in the class, or have you concluded the class?
Yeah, we finished the class, right?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Just last week was our
Okay.
final
So you
day.
got to.
So
Are there plans to do another class for more individuals, or what's the story there?
yeah, so cow tipping offers multiple classes multiple
really?
times a year. Yeah,
Wow.
partnering with different organizations.
Okay.
And I think they have plans in the works to do another class with the Self Advocacy Academy at ACT.
Okay.
Advocating for Change Together, I think is what that stands for as well. So, yeah.
Awesome.
When you're not doing the podcast, what's the most favorite thing you guys enjoy doing? Just take your turn, whoever wants to start here. Maybe we'll start at this end, being we've always started at that end. Well, we start with the,
So what's your favorite thing to do? Not podcasting, really.
My favorite thing to do is advocate because I'm part of Advocate Change Together. It's another organization, and we're going to do a presentation pretty soon about helping people have access to computers
Okay.
and internet because it's important to
Oh yes.
raise this money because we can do our presentations. And I was on a retreat, and we were staying at the Mononomy Retreat Center, and we were talking about raising $400 so we can give people with disabilities and without disabilities access to internet, which is a worldwide project that's going on now.
Yeah.
okay.
And Megan, when you're not watching Grey's Anatomy, what do you like to do?
For me, I just sick it up and do my best and just write some journaling and all that
Oh,
stuff.
so you like to journal then?
Yeah.
Do you journal every day, every other day, once a week? How-
Not every day.
Not every day.
No.
But when you can, maybe
Yes.
once a week, you think, or
Yeah.
when you can think of something to,
Just when it hits you, you want to do it.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried journaling once. I still have a book of white empty pages.
Yes.
And Keith, what do you do for your fun around? You know,
For mine, I always go bowling every
Oh, yeah.
time that I
Oh,
can
do
get
you?
a chance.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
it's a great sound when those pins go flying.
Yep. Yep.
Now, with you, because you are visually impaired, correct?
Yep.
Is there any adaptations that you need to have done well?
Do you use a ramp? Do you throw your own
No,
ball?
I throw my own ball.
Oh, you
Okay.
do?
Yep.
And as long as you can figure out where the arrows are, you're in good shape, right?
Yep. Yep.
All right, all right. And what about you? What's your favorite thing to do
Hobby-wise.
out? Yeah, it's a hobby.
Well, I like to go swimming at Lake Nokomis for the aquatic people, and maybe and splash people. When they splash me back, I splash them back at their eyes and their faces, and then I got them wet, and then I like to go for a walk around the lake, and it's close to Uptown.
Okay. Mark and I used to grow up near
Yeah, we grew up in
Nokomis, so-
Lake Nokomis.
So we know the area.
Yep, I
It's a
used to
fun
go.
spot.
Used to go swimming there and that. So
We
Yeah,
were
we-
just at the lake this
Yeah,
week.
we were at Lake Nokomis, the one located in South Minneapolis on Cedar Avenue.
Yep,
Yep,
it's a
big-
great place.
big beach.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
big
is.
beach. I usually went on the other side to Little Beach and that. So
Yeah.
So you're the splashing kind, huh?
Yeah, they splash me and I splash them back.
That's,
So
Yeah.
you guys gone swimming with Splasher here?
yes,
Well, you know,
I have.
the first time I went swimming, we were all in the lake, and you know, we had so much fun swimming, and we were splashing each other.
Oh, we-
Yeah, we were splashing each other.
We had
Because we went to Lake Nokomis in South Minneapolis, located in Cedar Avenue.
Yes, we did. We sure
just
did.
yesterday.
Very cool. And Hannah, no, you must have a hobby. Come on.
Yeah.
share with us.
I guess what I've been doing lately since it's the summer is just trying to spend time outside when I can.
That's a big
I like
thing in
going.
Minnesota.
I like going to Como Park.
So-
That's my.
And, you know, you get these
But away
fun-
from the Splasher, right?
As far away.
Far away, yeah.
So, and you get these great people here. In the most recent class, though, how many people actually participated in the podcast class?
Yeah, we had a group of 7 students, so this is actually the majority of them here today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if people want more information on podcasts or on cow tipping that offers it, who do they contact on that? I would assume there's a website.
There is a website, yeah. I think it's cowtipping.org.
Okay.
But if they sorry,
Yeah.
didn't mean to, yeah.
And
I saw the
You can
look
just
of, oh, maybe just do
Yeah.
cow tip. But you just
we'll look it up.
Google, yeah, because I always forget what it is too. And I just Google cow tipping,
Yeah.
and I just say cow tipping, and it comes up cow tipping press. I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah, I
So,
think
Yeah,
it comes
that's
right
what we
up.
have.
So.
So we got to wrap up here. Appreciate everyone coming in today. You know, tell us about the fun you're having there. And just, I think the last question is, where do we find your podcasts? Are they at Cow Tipping?
Yeah, I think cow tipping will publish them. They're not ready for
Not quite ready for the
publication
whole
yet.
world yet, but no.
Hopefully soon, yeah, you'll be able to find them either on their website or Facebook page. Something.
Facebook page, or
one of those.
because once
yeah.
they're out too, I will. Because we have a Facebook page for Disability Channel Minnesota, so I definitely, when I see them, I will definitely share them to our
Folks
page,
out there.
to our folks in that. So.
So, all right, I want to thank y'all for coming. We've got to wrap it up here real quick. Hannah and the gang will tag in. And thank y'all for coming. I'm here with Mark Knudsen. I'm Charlie Rose. You've been watching Disability Landscape. We'll see y'all next time.